Yeah. Do we need, how much time do we need other than that?
5 minutes.
I think it's been
For Prince, about 5 minutes.
about 5 minutes though, and then we got stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we
Okay, ready? Good evening, it's 5:02 PM and I call this public meeting to order. I want to thank everyone who's joining us this evening. If you want to make a public comment on the item listed under the closed session agenda, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the opening of each item. Ms. Elizondo?
Public hearing for visitors who wish to address the board on closed session items. 15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on closed session items. Speakers seeking to comment on other items are requested to make those comments during the public comment portion of the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. The school board is prohibited by law from taking action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusion should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item included in this section of the agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining us remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. We will allow speakers from the audience to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Seeing none, hearing none, I close public hearing and I adjourn to closed session to discuss items 1A through 1D. The board will reconvene at the conclusion of closed session. And everyone join this meeting in person and on Zoom. We ask those joining us this evening to please silence your electronic devices not linked to this meeting. If you'd like to make a public comment, please listen carefully to the directions provided by the clerk at the open of each public comment period. Superintendent Lyle.
President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and staff, and members of our public, we'd like to remind us all of our vision and our mission this evening. Our vision states that Madera Unified will set the standard for hard work, creativity, and resiliency with a fearless drive to continuously improve. And our mission states that we are committed to creating and sustaining a culture enabling Madera Unified students to experience an unparalleled educational journey that is intellectually, socially, and personally transformative. That's the nature of our work this evening, sir.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 3, roll call. Ms. Elizondo, would you please call roll?
Yes, sir. Trustee Ahmad.
Here.
Trustee Cortez.
Here.
Trustee Dibert.
Here.
Trustee Fleek.
Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
Clerk Mendoza.
Here.
And President Seibert.
Here. Thank you. Trustee Fleek, would you lead us in the flag salute?
Please stand, and the flag is behind you. Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Fleek. Tonight's scheduled invocation will be presented by Pastor Daniel Martinez of the 4th Street Church of Madera. I invite Pastor Martinez to the podium.
Thank you. Would you please bow your heads in prayer with me? Heavenly Father, we thank you, first off, for every man and every woman who's in this room. We thank you for the gift of children, Lord. We thank you that children, Father, make a poor man rich. And Father, this city is rich with children. And I pray, Father, and thank you for this week that's coming up. I thank you for all the educators, all the staff, and all the people on this board, Lord, who have worked hard to get these children to the finish line here. And I pray, Father, your blessing and your mercy and your grace upon this week. Father, for this agenda that's before them and the things that they're going to be speaking on, Lord, we ask for wisdom from above and for guidance and direction in all of these things. So please bless this time together in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pastor Martinez. Item number 4, closed session reportable actions. Superintendent Lyle.
We have none this evening, sir.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Adoption of the agenda, Ms. Lozando.
Action to add or delete items from any portion of the agenda or to discuss any consent agenda items must be taken prior to the adoption of the agenda.
Okay, Superintendent Lyle, does staff have items to add or remove from the agenda?
Not this evening.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Trustees, do you have any items to add or delete from the agenda? Okay, trustee, do I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as adopted? Please state your name when you make a motion and when you second the motion.
President Seibert, I so move to approve the agenda.
Trustee Dybert, I second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Salazar and seconded by trustee Dybert to adopt the agenda as presented. Ms. Lozando, please poll the board.
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you. Item number 6A, communication, student and staff recognition. Item number 6A1, recognize Sierra Vista and Washington Elementary Schools as for promising practice schools. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, you may recall that a few years ago, we had the opportunity to apply for a competitive grant for something called the Intensive Assistance Model. And it was something that was the brainchild of the California Collaborative for Educational Excellence. That's a big old giant mouthful. And for those of us out there that don't necessarily know what it is or what it's about, you probably know there's a Department of Education. And the Department of Education is really it receives our reports, it holds us accountable for complying to state law and making sure that we do right by our students. The California Collaborative is sort of the other side of that coin. It's the side of the coin that brings support where it's needed to our schools all across the state of California. Now, that's a massive task when you consider that we have just short of 10,000 schools in California. It's an amazing amount of work that they have to try to coordinate. So what we found out in this process was that this competitive grant was based off of a lot of work that was done originally in Arkansas and in other parts of the nation, and parts of the nation that had typically lagged behind California. The idea behind this was to learn what Arkansas had done well and try to scale it into a state that was organized quite a bit differently than most of the other states in the country. We don't have a real clean line of sight from the governor to the schools, or from the state public instruction superintendent to our schools, or even from our county superintendents to our schools. We have a very disjointed line of organization. So the idea was how do we take what we've learned in Arkansas about high quality professional practices that are devoted to continuous improvement? How do we take that which was working there and have it work in a state as on some level disorganized as California? This competitive grant process was open to the entire state, and a lot of people applied. And in discussions with those districts, it seemed to the California Collaborative that lots of those districts were looking for quick fixes and weren't necessarily looking for the tough leadership work that teachers and principals would have to go through to actually achieve what was being achieved en masse in Arkansas. So in discussions with their executive director and in discussions with this board, you approved for us to apply for 2 schools. We're one of the only districts in the state that got those 2 schools, but we asked for 1 more, and you were very kind. You agreed to fund 1 more so that we would have 1 in each pyramid. We've already celebrated the successes of Nishimoto Elementary. They have become model school. They've become a national model school. But we have 2 more schools that did tremendous work and have also been awarded promising practices for the whole nation by Solution Tree. So PLC work, as our teacher leaders and their principals can tell you, is extremely difficult. It is not at all easy. There is a great deal of transparency and honesty that's required. And there is a real commitment to responding to how students are learning or not. And when they learn and when they are growing, what do we do to push them a little farther? And it's a very challenging process. And I would like to first bring up a very, very impressive story from start to finish, and a whole school turnaround concept that started at Sierra Vista Elementary. So is Ms. Huerta in the house? Ah, there she is. So Ms. Huerta, we're going to turn this over to you. There's a little button you're going to need to press, and then the red light turns on. Now you're live. There you're on. But what I'd like for you to do is please explain to the board and to the general public the journey that you've been on, what it means to your staff. And I'm going to let just one little cat out of the bag, and there's a lot of them. But we heard directly from many of your teacher leaders that this was really hard, but they would never want to teach or work on a team in any other way.
Yes.
Tell
that
them
is
about that
correct.
journey and why.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. I couldn't have asked for a better staff than what I have at Sierra Vista, and the award has really, our school is so deserving. We have really turned things around in a way that I never thought would be possible. If you had asked me 3 years ago if I thought we would be in the place that we are in now, I would have said absolutely not. But this award really represents the hard work of our teachers, our whole entire staff, and our school community. The level that our teachers collaborate now is just entirely different than the way it was just 3 years ago. And I am so proud to be the principal at Sierra Vista and work alongside such an amazing staff. We definitely could not do it without the team that we have.
Bring them up.
Sierra Vista staff, come on up.
So I think it's fair to say, Ms. Huerta, it's fair to say, and I think it's important to say out loud to everyone that you and Ms. Aldevar have said from the very beginning that this is not possible without high-quality teacher leadership and a crazy level of commitment from every classroom teacher. The hour-by-hour level of commitment is just different. The use of collaborative time is just different. The amount of artifacts that you have to produce, the amount of data that you have to collect, the amount of conversations you have to have in order to pre-plan how to respond and how to predict where challenges might arise within the curriculum and during the instructional process. I mean, it is just an incredibly different level of interaction than what we have experienced. And it's why it's so easy to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars sending everyone to, like a summer conference, and everybody gets really excited and feel like they're in the cult, and then they come back and their faith gets trampled by October, because October just kind of has that effect on us, doesn't it, in education? It's a tough month. But the sustained level of leadership and commitment of this group of teachers has been singularly different, and they had a really steep hill to climb as a team because of some real challenges that the whole staff and student body and community around Sierra Vista had inherited. And whether or not they were a part of that inheritance, they took it on and they put this entire project on their shoulders, and they climbed every step of this journey to the mountaintop. So it was incredibly impressive to see what they did. Please feel free to fill in anything that I am not sharing that needs to be said tonight on behalf of this incredible team of teachers. There's a microphone. Got to say it in there for all of our, we have literally tens of followers out there on Zoom land.
I think just the other, one of the big things that I do want to make sure I mention is just the transformation that has been made in our school culture. I know sometimes it's not always documented within NWA scores or chronic absenteeism or things like that, although we have made tremendous strides in all of those areas. We have higher reclassification rates than we've ever had in years past. Our major referrals is down significantly. You can ask all of these teachers here. There's no other place they'd rather work than Sierra Vista. We have just really transformed the school. So, like I said, this award it is well deserving. And I keep telling them next stop is Model PLC. And I am so, so proud of them.
We're going to get everybody positioned up here so you can take a nice picture, open up that flag, hold that award, and everybody gets to feel the value of this moment. But one of the things that's really important for people out there who may be having this consideration, because anymore in American life, when we present an award, there's always somebody out there who thinks to themselves, well, because they participated, they got an award. That's not how this works. For Solution Tree to put their stamp on the work at Sierra Vista was a labor of love in just the data reporting. They had to prove that they were highly successful and had made a significant improvement in student achievement in multiple areas. It wasn't just one. It wasn't a thanks for playing, here's your award, here's your flag. There are a lot of schools around the nation that worked just as hard as this group did with no recognition at all. And that our three schools were recognized for their good work is a kind of a shocking reality. And the executive director, who I don't think would be too upset for us to say this, a gentleman named Matt Navo, he said to the public at Nishimoto that the work of our three schools would represent the biggest win on the biggest gamble of his tenure in that role in the entire CCEE, statewide organization. That the success we had, he said directly to the staff at Nishimoto, he didn't get a chance to say it to all of you, but he said it to them, the success of our three schools and a few others that really came through in the clutch, probably in his opinion, saved his job. Because it's that hard to do what you did. And it's that hard for it to be scaled across the state. This state is not built for that kind of improvement, but you found a way. So I just want you to know how proud we are of the work you did, and that we recognize that the work at Sierra Vista is singularly unique for a whole lot of reasons. You know them all, you live them. And it's never been easy. This certainly wasn't, but because you were determined and you guys came together as a team, top to bottom, you did something that might have been seemingly impossible 3 years ago, just as you said, Ms. Huerta, but you did it. We are so proud of what you've done. And we're so proud that you're serving such an important community in Madera in such a high-class fashion. Thank you for being the professionals that you are. We're very proud of you. Let's get a big picture. Come around here. Perfect. Thank you guys very much. Thanks for being here. We need to find you a flagpole. Oh, big frame, even better. Then it doesn't have to come down. Finish strong, Sierra Vista. So President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, I'd also like to bring up Principal Beto Hernandez from Washington to celebrate the very same achievement. But we have to acknowledge that the challenge was a little different. So far as we know within Solution Tree, there's been only a handful of schools that are dual language that have ever taken this on. And I don't believe, and maybe you can confirm this, but so far to my knowledge, there wasn't a dual language school that had gotten this far into Solution Tree with this much success and was in the process of building that entire school model. We're not even all the way to 6th grade yet, are we? So this is a challenge that we asked the good staff at Washington, the Tigers, to take on, which was a whole lot different than it was in any other school in the entire state of California, or at this stage, any other school in the entire nation. So Mr. Hernandez, tell us a little bit more about the journey.
First of all, Superintendent Lyle, thank you so much for believing in us, and members of the board, thank you so much for your support. And yes, I stand here today very, very proud of our teachers, our students, our community, because we are transitioning to 5th grade whole school DLI model. 3 years ago, we were going into 2nd grade, I believe. And so through it all, our teachers have persevered, our kids have persevered. And I stand here very proud to say that in the entire state of California, we're the only bilingual heritage language school to receive this honor from Solution Tree in the entire state of California. Our teachers worked extremely hard every day doing this work in 2 languages. And so they plan assessments, instruction, unit plans, intervention, and they always do it in 2 languages. And they work tirelessly to do what's best for our kids, but they do it in a way that is very, very impressive. Our staff, I mean, there aren't words to describe how proud I am for the work they do every day. And it's very, very difficult work. To do this in one language, it's very difficult enough, but to do it while we're transitioning to a whole school DLI model and learning about the DLI, being effective with the DLI model has been, needless to say, it's been blood, sweat, and tears along the way. But they have done it in the most professional and the most positive, energetic way, and I couldn't be prouder.
I think, well, please do. That deserves a round of applause. We didn't really touch on how fantastic the Teacher Appreciation Day was at Sierra Vista when they got a chance to come together and celebrate. Lots of pom-poms, lots of balloons. It was a fun time. The kids were really excited. The community was excited. And we got to see that level of explosion, but with some unique culture, with some mariachi and some folklorico. It was just a really amazing experience to have everybody on campus at Washington celebrate this moment. There's no celebration we can have in here that would ever match the level of celebration that our schools got to have in real life with all of their kids. But one of the things that I think it really proves to us is why the communities around Sierra Vista and Washington are really special, and why the parent community is so supportive of their schools, because they get the privilege of having educators that are this dedicated to their students. So it was pretty fun to see. I know it was really exciting to be a part of. I mean, you were very focused on this like a laser beam from day one. You wanted this opportunity. I think poor Ms. Huerta, she was thinking, I just became the principal. What are you asking me to do, Lyle? Thankfully, she took on this challenge. Thankfully, you were hungry for this challenge. And here we are. Let's introduce your staff.
Come on up. We're a much larger staff, a lot of the conflicts in scheduling tonight, but we represent our leadership team here. And like I said, they're just amazing people. And through it all, they have lifted each other up and really helped our students start to take a lot of ownership for their learning. And we got to see that at the celebration day, the kids showcasing their work and talking about their learning. Our teachers have done a lot of learning themselves. The L in PLC is for adult learning, and they have really taken that seriously. We have a lot more learning to do along the way. We're not done yet, and we're definitely shooting for model PLC, but more than anything, equipping our kids with the skills they need to be successful after they leave Washington School in 2 languages.
Well, one of the things that I think is very important that the board hears is that, and this is 100% true at Sierra Vista as well, but I've had the opportunity to be in PLC meetings with I think it was the 2nd grade team I got a chance to sit in with, and I see you. And I recognized that I was listening to, as Ms. Guillen was going through all of the opportunities that she saw for improvement, and as the team started to talk about their work at this stage and what they were learning and the connections they were making and the possibilities they were seeing, it literally sounded like we were listening to a whole bunch of professors talk about their craft. I mean, it was the level of conversation, the level of professional discourse was sky high. It doesn't get any higher than that unless it is a group of professors. And guess what they don't really do? They don't really teach kids, but you do. And it was so impressive to hear the commitment and the dedication to the craft of teaching, because it's a science for sure. There's a lot of science to it. We know a lot about psychology, we know a lot about neurology, we know a lot about, our learning today that we didn't know 20 years ago, certainly not 30 or 40 years ago. But there's an art to it too, how you actually build relationships, how you make connections. And I think that's where the staff at Washington really excels, taking the art and balancing the science. It was really impressive, and I want you to know I won't forget it anytime soon. Really proud of the work you guys have done. So thank you. Get some pictures. Congratulations. So finally, trustees, we'll put a fine point on it by saying that the opportunity for the grant was buy one, get one, right? So if we, if we wanted to get one school in, we could apply, and if we got one, great. And if we got another one, then we might have to pay for it ourselves. In the end, we paid for 1 of 3. The California Collaborative paid for 2. Now that was a gamble of taxpayer money. And then we followed it up with another gamble on taxpayer money with Nishimoto. But the 3 schools, I hope you'll agree, have come through in incredible fashion and made us really proud. And I think it capitalizes on the belief that we all share in high quality teacher leadership. When you have really high quality teachers leading teams of other teachers, and they're all working closely with their principal and vice principal, we start having the kinds of successes and the kind of cultures that we can believe in. So I want to thank you for believing in that. It's made a big difference. So thanks, trustees.
Yeah, thank you again to Sierra Vista and Washington staff for all your achievements. Now we go to item number 6A2. Recognize the 24-25 student board members and the student representatives. Superintendent Lyle.
Wow, so we have had, as our trustees are well aware, one of the finest groups of student trustees we have ever had. Now, we continue to have high quality groups. We've never had a group that wasn't a group we were proud of, but this particular group is really something special. So President Syber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, we saw a tremendous amount of fruitful service from our district student board members. They led student voice meetings, represented the student body from every high school, and truly made a difference in our lives and the lives of future students during this historic term from August until graduation. So for that, we should commend and recognize our student trustees. Their names will be displayed on a perpetual plaque in this district office right out front for generations to come, so anyone can see who has served as student trustees. It's a really important honor, and they have fulfilled it honorably. On behalf of the board and staff and the students they serve, we have plaques of our appreciation for each of them. So I invite President Syber, Clerk Mendoza down to the floor to present these awards. If you would, I'll run my mouth from here. You guys go down there and look pretty for the camera. I'm glad it's not me. So I'd first like to invite trustee Angelica Castillo and alternate trustee Aiden De La Cruz from Madera High School. Please approach the podium. And if you would, trustee Castillo, would you please tell us just a little bit about your year? What really stood out? What would you like to share with the general public on behalf of the Proud Coyotes?
Is it on? Yeah.
You're good.
Well, when I first saw the application, my first thought was I could help a lot of people because a thing circulating around, my school is that, they feel like there's a disconnection between administration and the Board of Education and students. And so I thought this was an opportunity for us to kind of like engage. And so one of my first thoughts was meetings, like physical interface with people. And so when I first met all of you, it felt so like surreal. Like I felt like, okay, this is how I'm going to make a difference. And so when I would come to the board meetings or when I would have my meetings at school and students were actually wanting to come, they would ask me to be there. Like if they could have, like we had to expand the amount of people for our second semester meeting just because so many people wanted to engage. And it was honestly so encouraging. It made me feel really hopeful about student representation at school because it wasn't just me anymore. Once I was able to kind of, fulfill this position and reach out, it gave me an opportunity to reach out to other students who also had the same passion as me. So I hope that I can do it again next year. I applied and thank you for the opportunity this year.
Well, Trustee Castillo, not only did you and Aiden run a phenomenal meeting, but you made some really important connections with site leaders that I think really listened. So who were those site leaders that supported you? And what I mean by that site leader, that's maybe kind of a term we use here, but who were the adult leaders at Madera High School that were so supportive of you and really made this special?
Well, my activities director, Isaac Lopez, and our principal Cosgrove, we actually conducted meetings like every month. We would pick a Thursday of the month, and they were the ones who reached out to me and Aiden so that we could have those meetings. And it made me feel very represented and very like considered because it was something that I wanted to reach out about, and them reaching out to me made me feel supported. And so Aiden and I would discuss things that we felt important, and we would approach them about it. And at the meetings, we would see actual results. Like they would take notes. They would discuss things with us. They would ask us if we wanted to make videos. They would ask us if we wanted to include some of our stuff in our advisory presentations. So, our administration on campus was really supportive, and that really helped me out.
I think that the Coyotes had a very impressive year all the way around, and the two of you were a big part of it. So thank you so much for your service to the community, to my alma mater. I'm a very proud Coyote. There's a couple of us up here. We're very proud Coyotes, and you made us very proud this year. So thank you very much. Take some pictures with the president and the clerk. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I'd now like to invite Trustee Angelica Cervantes Hernandez and alternate trustee Julian Martinez Rodriguez from Madera South High School to come to the podium. I'm glad we can move that microphone down.
Me too.
I think it's really important for you all to hear as well. One of the most proud moments for me for the whole school year, and I wasn't the only one who felt this way. There were a few of us in the room, adults. One of the proudest moments we had all year was the student voice meeting that you held last. with all the EL learners in the room and students of all kinds of different, walks of life on campus that were all there to talk about what they were proud of. And that wasn't exactly what you asked, but they kind of broke into a discussion about how proud they were to be Stallions. And I'm going to tell you, as proud as I am to be a Coyote, Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Schwartz, Mr. Marshall, Ms. Sissel, we poured our lives into Madera South. So I want you to know how proud we were to hear the high quality feedback from all of those kids who felt included that day for the kind of culture that Madera South represents. So tell us a little bit about what you experienced this year and how you feel about your service.
Well, as student board trustee, obviously I'm very proud of my school, but honestly, from my experience, I've had a very positive experience, not just with administration like Mr. Steinmetz and Mr. Cummings, who, despite facing some obstacles and getting things set up, they have been overwhelmingly supportive. And additionally, when obviously that student voice meeting, it wasn't the way we were hoping for it to go, but it surprised us in the best way ever. And it really did represent all the students, especially the growing population of EL learners. And so I think it really demonstrated that as student board representative, you don't just represent one group of people, but you represent all of them. And I think through specifically that meeting, it was prominent in seeing how many students of different walks of lives we have, and I'm very proud to have been able to represent them. And it's been a great experience, especially with not just sending out surveys, but also being able to see that there has been a change. For instance, at the beginning of the year, we sent out a video after testing out the breakfast lines, which our journalism class had helped us with. And it was rewarding seeing that, hey, I did make a difference. Now, obviously, not to many people here, breakfast lines don't mean much, but to students, they mean everything. And being able to cut the time down and actually do some change and then get connected with teachers from the journalism class and students and hear their opinions on it was very impactful. And I think it was really rewarding, and overall, I'm very grateful.
And you made a huge difference. You brought to light issues, and you had a very responsive administration. You had a very responsive group of teacher leaders, and people made a difference, didn't they? So I heard you say Mr. Cummings and Mr. Steinmetz. I think those are two gentlemen who were always in your corner, and I think felt the power of student voice. And you gave them a lot of evidence that they were right to trust you and believe in you both. Congratulations on a very, very successful year. There you go. Congratulations, Stallions. This one's a little harder for us, I think, as you know, I'm part of the governance team up here. We've come to know and love and trust and really believe in Trustee Duca Martinez. And we've gotten a chance to know alternate trustee Capri Adams. And, you know, I think I remember when Capri was born, as a matter of fact. I mean, I know that's kind of going back, right? But we had two really outstanding young ladies who led Torres, and we had and the Torres student body, let's be honest, it's not always easy. They have a lot to say, and they're not always super excited about everything. They want me to know that they don't like X. There's a whole lot of X out there. We can fill in the variables. But the two of you handled those moments with such professionalism and maturity that it was kind of shocking. It was hard to remember that you were just punk high school kids, because you're a whole lot more than that. So Trustee Duca Martinez, Trustee Adams, please come and talk to us a little bit about the journey that you were on at Torres High School. And don't hesitate to say that you had the advantage of having done this 1 year before. You're one of our very few two-timers. You got a chance to do this as a junior and as a senior. And I think that has been to the benefit of the Toro Nation for sure. So please tell us a little bit about what you learned.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Trustee Duque Martinez. It is a tremendous privilege to be standing here for the second year. Of course, like you said, I did return for my junior and for my senior year. It's been an incredible opportunity to represent the students at Torres High School, but it is something that comes very natural and it's something that comes very easy because our students are so outspoken and because they voice their opinions very strongly. And it's something that I am incredibly proud that they have the opportunity and the experience to actually be able to do that. It's something that not all of the students in Madera Unified feel comfortable doing. So I thank you guys for allowing them that privilege, for allowing them that space of comfort and security. And I also want to thank our staff. It's an incredible, incredible moment to see all of our staff come together. We have been supported like none other, from our advisor, Mr. Speed, to our principal, Mrs. Rodriguez. They are amazing supporters. It's like you said, our students, they are very outspoken and they do voice their opinions on whatever they do like and whatever they don't like. But I think that's very important. It's important to teach them the power within their voice. It's something that goes beyond high school. It's something that goes beyond this district. And I hope that they take it with them wherever they go. So it's something that we always took pride in. It's something that we understand and we acknowledge, and we hope to really foster that within them. From our freshmen to our seniors now, we hope that they carry that forward, and we hope that they continue that with whoever else steps into the trustee position. It's not something that's easy. It's not something that is, well, as always liked. It's not something that comes easy for administrators either, but it's something that we value and we acknowledge and we really do appreciate. Our student voice meetings have always been very, very well. They've gone very well because of our students. It's something that Caper and I can take, that authority and figure position, whatever, but it's really our students that make those meetings special. It's really the students, their opinions, and everything. It's important to have opinions. It's important to know where you stand. It's important to know what you like and what you don't like so that you can lead yourself through life with such power and such leadership. So it's something that we really do appreciate. It's something that we acknowledge, and we really would like to acknowledge that within our administrators and our students as well, not only us. Trustee Adams, do you have anything to say?
I just want to say I've had an amazing opportunity doing this, especially representing our school, because it's fairly new. So we're building culture as we go. And I believe that just being a part of the board this year really helped to build that culture and help our students understand what it truly means to be a Toro. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. And I've had a wonderful time this year doing it. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity.
Before we take pictures here, it's really important that the community realizes that, yeah, the Toros are outspoken. That's for sure. They have a lot on their mind. Partly, they have a lot on their mind because they have a staff, and the two of you have always said this. They have a team of teachers at that school that listen.
Definitely.
And they're relationship builders. And you guys have always shared that. Since the school opened, every student trustee has told us that. That has been a very valuable strategic choice of the administration, was to really emphasize the belief that relationships between teachers and students are vital.
Yes.
And because there's so much safe space on campus for students to express themselves, they're willing to. And that makes a huge difference. So you're right to call out Mr. Speed and Ms. Rodriguez, because they've done an incredible job of building an inclusive culture that creates that desire to be a part of the community, right? All of our schools belong to the community, but our students are part of this community.
Yes.
So our schools belong to them too. You guys have represented us very, very well. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
See you on stage, Toros. So graduation just got that much closer all of a sudden, didn't it, everybody? Getting a little nervous? Don't worry, we'll be there to catch you when you trip on those stairs. No high heels this year. Is Trustee Campos Gutierrez here tonight? We haven't seen her yet tonight. That's too bad because Trustee Campos Gutierrez is from our Alt-Ed sites. And we won't go too far into this tonight because she's not present to be embarrassed and to be mad at me for embarrassing her. But she goes to Furman High School, and she represents Furman, Mount Vista, and Ripperton. And they have some incredible staff members that bring us together via Zoom. So some of us will go in person to Furman and we'll Zoom in with the others as they join us from Ripperton and Mount Vista. Those are incredibly powerful meetings, insanely positive. The students are so proud that they feel welcome at those three schools, that they get a chance to start over, that they have staff that care about them. And Trustee Campos Gutierrez has done an amazing job of helping work with the adults to connect the students and all of us be in the same space to hear what's happening at those three schools and what they need us to know and what they need us to respond to. I'm sorry she's not here tonight to be embarrassed in public. But we thank her nonetheless, and we'll make sure she gets this, and she has our thanks and all of our goodwill. So to Trustee Campos Gutierrez, we applaud you. Now, on to our board delegates or representatives. Sometimes we call them both. I'm going to ask first. And we're going to bring up all of them at once, if you don't mind. And I can tell that not everybody's in school colors, so we'll have to tell you who's who. Carmody Burrow, would you please come up? Okay, come on up, Carmody. Eric Cortez, would you please come on up? Layla Webster, would you please come on up? And Julissa Cruz, would you please come on up? Is Julissa here with us tonight? Okay. I want to thank, on behalf of the board, I want to thank the three of you for being absolutely outstanding in your presentations to all of us about what's happening at our schools. I have two kids at two of your schools. And if they only had half the enthusiasm that you all do, my wife and I we'd sleep a lot better at night. But you made all of us understand just how important it was to be a part of your school cultures, just how busy everyone is on your campus, how many things our teachers and support staff inspire and support, how many things they lead, how many things your activities directors are doing to make such a difference in the community, and to make this such an important 4 years worth of an experience. I want to thank you for your maturity, your professionalism, your dedication to being here so often and to representing your schools with such professionalism. Again, it doesn't seem like you're high school punks and you're just about to get up on stage, and in one step, you're going to walk off that stage and you're going to be alumni. And we are really proud that you're alumni of Madera Unified. You've represented all of us, this community and your schools in particular, with all the class in the world. We're so proud of what you've done. And thank you for all of that dedication to your schools and to all of us. So thank you on behalf of all of us. So Carmody, would you come up and get your plaque, please? Eric, would you please come get yours? And Layla, would you please come and get yours? Let's get together for a group photo. I'll get out of the way. Squeeze all together. Congratulations and thank you. See you guys on stage. So trustees, thank you for indulging that, but when you have such high-quality students, it's time to celebrate a little bit. They won't get to be celebrated individually like this on graduation night, but we got a chance to do it tonight. So see you all there. Don't be late. We are right here at Madera Minutes. So are you ready, David? Yep. So President Cyber Clerk Mendoza, this is the time when we show off the highlights of the last 2 weeks or so in Madera Unified in the Madera Minutes. So David, if you would, hit it.
We begin this week's Madera Minutes by recognizing former Madera South standout, Murph Gray. Fresno State honored the standout baseball player with its Top Student Athlete Award, recognizing his excellence on the field, leadership, and Bulldog spirit. A proud Madera South alumnus, Murph continues to make his hometown proud. Madera Unified celebrates his well-deserved recognition and ongoing success. Earlier this month, students in the Engineering and Manufacturing Lab at MadTech tested their skills in the annual Robot League competition. Working in teams, students designed and built functional Rocket League-style robots, each capable of playing soccer. The project ended with an exciting 3-on-3 robot battle, where months of creativity and collaboration came to life on the field.
And our 2024-2025 We Believe student champion is Mr. Henry Montiel. Congratulations, brother.
It's been a busy month in Madera Unified, with several individuals honored with the We Believe Champions Award. This recognition goes to teachers and staff who inspire students and help them overcome challenges. Congratulations to all of this year's recipients. In other things, Madera South teachers and staff participated in Madera Unified's poverty simulation experience, led by Student and Family Support Services. The immersive activity highlighted the daily challenges many families face, including financial stress, housing instability, and limited access to services, deepening empathy and strengthening their commitment to compassionate support. The district plans to offer the experience to more staff. And finally, congratulations to the students of Madera, Madera South, and Torres High Schools who have been awarded the State Seal of Biliteracy. This prestigious award recognizes senior students who have achieved a high level of proficiency in speaking, reading, and writing in one or more languages.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 6B, public hearing for visitors who wish to speak on a subject not on the board agenda.
15 minutes of this portion of the meeting are reserved for members of the public to address the board on items not listed on the board agenda and within the jurisdiction of the school board. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. If the subject is an item on the agenda, the board president has the option of asking the speaker to hold a comment until that item is called. Comments on items listed as a public hearing on the agenda should be held until the hearing is open. The school board is prohibited by law from taking actions on matters discussed that are not on the agenda, and no adverse conclusions should be drawn if the school board does not respond to public comment at this time. If you wish to address the board on an item not on the board agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. Hello, my name is Mackenzie Freitas, and I am a 12th grader at Torres High School. I'm here today because I like to ask the board for something, if that's okay with you kind people. Recently, I have had a few problems, not with the school, just personal problems that's been causing me to have a rough time in school, should I say. Due to this, I have not been able to keep up with my grades. Just recently, thanks to my student advocate, Joshua Ramirez, I was able to fix that. But that still doesn't change the fact that I have in the past not done very well in my prior classes. I come here today to ask if I would still be able to walk even if I haven't met the requirement. I promise under anything, my mother, my father, God, I ask you to please let me walk, even if you just please consider it. And the fact is, I would love to walk with my twin. He's not here with me today, but I've been thick and thin through him, and he's been by my side for the longest time I've lived. I love to walk with my twin, even if I don't get my diploma. I will attend summer school just so I can graduate from there, just so I can be able to say I graduate high school. I'm glad if I am able to walk, then I would love to walk beside my brother and my friends, just so I can able to have that experience that many people in their lives can have, knowing that they walked beside their friends, family, and loved ones as they finished their final year of high school. Thank you. That is all. This is my mother.
Hi, I just want to briefly explain a little bit more about why we're here. And I won't take a lot of your time, but Mackenzie mentioned his struggles. I want you to know, and he's okay with me saying this, he suffers from depression. He's been battling this for about 4 years now. He was also diagnosed as ADHD when he was in elementary school. So he's had ups and downs through the years. Mr. Ramirez, his advocate, has been great to help him, but because of these ups and downs, his grades have suffered. Right now, the past 2 weeks, he's worked really hard to do what he needs to do to bring his GPA up to where it needs to be. So to make it clear, we're not here to ask that he get a diploma he doesn't deserve or has not earned. He is willing to go to summer school. He's doing an ingenuity class. We are just asking for consideration that he be allowed to walk with his class at Torres, with the understanding and his word that he will do what he needs to do to make sure he earns the diploma from the school district. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, can you give us your name?
My name is Lydia Serrano, Lydia Serrano. And if the board would like, I have a letter from his therapist that I can provide. I also wanted to mention in respect to the ingenuity that he is doing online. I did start him in with a math tutor. So he's been attending the math tutoring in Fresno twice a week since the beginning of April to try and get him to get that class finished. And I have a copy of that verification as well. So if there's any way you would like these copies, I can present them to the clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Seibert. There are no others who wish to speak to you at this
You know,
time.
and also close public hearing. Item number 7, consent agenda. Ms. Elizondo.
Items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and are acted on by the Board of Trustees in one motion. There is no discussion of these items prior to the board vote unless a member of the board or staff requests specific items be considered and discussed separately and/or removed from the consent agenda prior to the adoption of the agenda. It is understood that the administration recommends approval on all consent items. Each item on the consent agenda approved by the Board of Trustees shall be deemed to have been considered in full and adopted as recommended.
I now open the consent agenda for public comment. Ms. Elizondo?
If you wish to address the board on an item included in the consent agenda, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board at this time.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no one come forward, I close public comment. I now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Ahmad, make a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated.
I second the motion.
Been moved by Trustee Ahmad and seconded by Trustee Salazar to approve the consent agenda. There are two resolutions on the consent agenda. Ms. Elizondo, would you please poll the board?
Yes. Trustee Ahmad?
Yes.
Trustee Cortez?
Yes.
Trustee Dybert?
Yes.
Trustee Pleak?
Yes.
Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
And President Seibert?
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you. Clerk Mendoza, would you like to help our retirees? You want to? I've got on my agenda retirees right now.
Well, of course, my pleasure, President Seibert. At this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank and acknowledge the following retirees for their service, not only to Madera Unified, but also to the service and commitment to the Madera community. Matilda Cruz, paraprofessional aide at Lincoln Elementary School, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 23 years of service. Maria Rodriguez, Administrative Assistant 2 at Howard Elementary School, will retire on August 2025, after 23 years of service. And then we have Helen San Miguel, paraprofessional aide at Torres High School, will retire on June 6, 2025, after 19 years of service. President Seibert, back to you.
Thank you. Clerk Mendoza, Superintendent Lyle, are there any administrative announcements?
Well, how about that? There are. President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, we have 3 announcements tonight. One will take a minute. The other 2 will not. Our first one is that with your action tonight, we have accepted the approval of Nikki Sorensen as the new principal at Virginia Lee Rose Elementary School. Just as a quick profile, Ms. Sorensen has been a principal in 2 districts, has been a vice principal in another district, and comes to us with more than 10 years experience. She'll be joining us in our next board meeting to meet the board face-to-face. She's currently in and around the Santa Barbara area and serving as a principal, but moving back into the San Joaquin Valley, and will be joining Madera Unified at Virginia Lee Rose, a really proud school. And our second announcement is similar tonight. This particular candidate, with your approval tonight, becomes the principal at Madera South High School. She is currently at her own daughter's graduation this evening, but she comes to us with a vast amount of experience as a vice principal and is currently serving as a principal in Clovis Unified, and her name is Ms. Jennifer Tao. And we will introduce all of you to her at our next board meeting. Our final introduction this evening is one that doesn't really need much introduction in the Red Pyramid, and has been one of our most outstanding elementary counselors for several years. I know that she's going to go through some withdrawals because everyone who leaves Pershing feels that way. But she's going to be joining the Nishimoto Hawks, and we heard tonight references to their recent successes and how professional a staff that has become. Ms. Falk is not here tonight to accept her and to represent her as her new vice principal, but she's ecstatic that there was someone of the leadership caliber of Ms. Jessica Martinez who will leave Pershing and join the staff at Nishimoto Elementary School. Ms. Martinez.
Sorry, already with the waterworks. Good evening, Board President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, and Superintendent Lyle. Sorry. It is. I stand before you today with a heart full of gratitude, excitement, and a touch of sadness. It is truly an honor to accept the role of Vice Principal at Nishimoto Elementary. This new chapter is one I look forward to. With great anticipation, I'm ready to serve, to lead, and to continue growing alongside the staff, students, and families of this amazing community. But before I move forward, I must honor what I'm leaving behind. For the past 10 years, I've had the privilege of being part of a school that became so much more than a place of work. Pershing became home. It's where I've grown, not only as an educator, but as a person. I've built lasting friendships, shared in countless student successes, and experienced the everyday magic that happens when people care deeply about one another and about learning. Leaving Pershing, the students, the staff, and the hallways filled with memories is not easy. As you can tell, it's emotional. But I take comfort in knowing that what I've learned there and the relationships that I've built will stay with me always. They've helped me shape who I am and who I will be in this new role. I want to acknowledge the most important people in my life sitting behind me. First, my parents, Rudy and Dorothy Martinez, who have always modeled hard work and love for family. My two children, Layla, who's graduating from Torres this year and off to become a Bruin at UCLA, and Lafi, a freshman at Torres, who I could not be more proud of. With my heart, Frank, who fills my bucket with love and support every single day. I also want to thank all my mentors and friends who saw leadership qualities in me and encouraged me to pursue this new adventure. To my new Hawk family, thank you for welcoming me. I'm committed to bringing the same passion, care, and dedication that I've carried throughout my career. I believe in building trust, leading with empathy, and always putting students at the center of every decision. I look forward to walking this path with all of you as we continue to soar. Thank you.
So Jessica, I'm really glad you got to do that on the same night that we honored Layla for her service, because it's been pretty outstanding. I know she's going to play in a Little Valley Championship coming up here, right? And you're going to be screaming your lungs out, right? We'll let you be in full-blown mom mode that night. If I remember right, you were one of our counselors hired like in the second round when we first got a chance to add. We had one elementary counselor, and I think that was Ms. Ozier, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, we got to hire another round, and you were in that next round. Is that not correct? So you've been a part of the solution now for 10 years. Thanks for that. And thanks for taking on Nishimoto. You're going to have a great time at a great school, and you're going to go from one great to another great, but at least it's right down the street. It's not too hard to find a place to meet up with the staff that has become more than just colleagues. They've become friends. I think you're going to have the same experience over at Nish. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, item B, 8A, information reports, union time. This time I invite the president of the union to address the board. Mr. Holder.
Thank you, sir. Board President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, board members, Superintendent Lyle. We once again see such positive outcomes throughout Madera Unified School District, whether it's academics, sports, initiative programs of so many styles, and the successes continue to come throughout Madera Unified School District, carried forward by MUTA members. It is truly my hope that the 25-26 school year also ends in this type of interaction and positivity, and not in a manner that is chaotic and a return to hostility. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holder. Any other union presidents?
No, sir, no more union presidents.
Item number 9, superintendent's time.
President Cyber, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, I want to thank the Association of Mexican American Educators for their really fantastic scholarship awards dinner. We got a chance to be serenaded by the Torres Mariachi group. They were amazing. Trustee Salazar and Clerk Mendoza were there. We had a really good time with Dr. Massetti and Mayor Gallegos. It was a fantastic occasion. I also want to thank the team at MTech, the teachers and the administration for putting on a very exceptional junior graduate profile showcase. We saw a lot of what we wanted to see. We saw some areas that were worthy of glows and some areas where we need to grow. And everyone was very open about that. We had great support from the community. So congratulations to MTech. I also want to thank our secondary counselors from grade 7 to 12. They've been working really hard on developing a gold standard research-based counseling program that is very, very different and much more responsive and much more dedicated and consistent and coherent than anything we've seen so far. We'll be really anxious to share the results of that next year. There's been a really fantastic implementation and a lot of tools that have been built, and we have a great deal of dedication from our counselors all the way from grade 7 all the way through grades 12 to work together on really consistent practices. So I think we'll see a gold standard emerge from this work that will make Madera Unified very, very proud in the future. I'm really proud of the job they've done, and I'm proud of the leadership of Ms. McKenna and Ms. White, and the collaboration and support from Ms. Teneinhaus, Ms. Diorian, and Mr. Marshall. I'd also like to thank our Furman staff for putting on a really fantastic awards night and Seal of Biliteracy celebration. Again, Trustee Salazar, we got a chance to be there together. Did I miss anybody? Because I know Trustee Dybert was there last year, but not this year, right? It's a really fun occasion. The families come out, they all have dinner together, and it is a real celebration of student achievement. And so many students have found a way to experience a rebirth at Furman. And it really is empowering to see their growth. And lastly, I'd like to thank our mariachi groups and our visual and performing arts department for hosting the Noche de Mariachi in Courthouse Park. I know sometimes it's called Old Man's Park, but it's Courthouse Park to us old timers. It was a fantastic evening. To preserve my marriage, I was celebrating my son's birthday that night and did not get to go, but I got lots of video and lots of photographs. It was one heck of a celebration, and it is a real testament to the vision of the board to have the culture of our community exist in the lives of our students on our campuses. And we were able to take that out into the community and share it widely. So thank you for that, and congratulations to everyone involved.
Thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Okay, item 10, old business. Item number 10A1, educational services. Approval of textbook adoption recommendations for the grade 9 science course, Living Earth. Superintendent Lyle.
President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board, we have Director Teneinhaus here for this item, and it is for your approval this evening.
Good evening. President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and Superintendent Lyle. I am excited to be back here this evening to ask for your approval of the recommended textbook for our high school Science 9 course, The Living Earth. As you may remember, I presented our recommended textbook entitled California Experience Biology, The Living Earth, which is from Savas Learning Company, for your review at the May 13th board meeting. At that time, there were no questions I needed to research or provide additional information on for this evening. However, between that meeting and tonight, our science district academic coach, Aaron Schwartz, held 2 preview opportunities where he was available to answer any questions and share the textbook materials. Thank you to everyone who was able to stop by for the preview. And at this time, I respectfully request your approval of the Living Earth textbook adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, Director China House. Now open this item for public comment. Ms. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board on this
Thank
item.
you. Seeing none come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff?
I was able to go and look at the books, the main book, the workbook, and the teacher's edition, and I was impressed with the information that was in each one of even the workbooks. And they had a lot of, reviewing of, so they could take a test, and I thought it was really good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, the committee went through a lot of the different options and really found that this particular option had a lot of resources available for students and for their teachers. So we're really excited about this addition to our Living Earth curriculum.
Okay, trustees, do I have a motion and a second to approve the textbook adoption?
Trustee Fleek, I'll move to approve the textbook adoption for the grade 9 science course, Living Earth.
Trustee Cortez, I second that motion.
Okay, been moved by trustee Fleek and seconded by trustee Cortez to approve the textbook adoption recommendation for grades 9 science course, Living Earth. Ms. Elizondo, will you poll the board?
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you. Item number 10B1, Human Resources, adoption of the 24-25 initial proposal by Madera Unified School District and the Certificated Management Bargaining Association. Superintendent Lyle.
President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, and public, we have Assistant Superintendent Aiello here for this item. You're on, Joe.
Thank you, and good evening. President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board, Superintendent Lyle. At the May 13th governing board meeting, we presented to you the initial sunshine proposals for SIMBA and the district. SIMBA has requested that we open up salary, safety, and work schedules. The district is asking that we open up Articles 8, transfers, reassignments, and vacancies, Article 9, evaluation procedures, and Article 11, salary and fringe benefits. This is the second read of this item. We're requesting that you adopt the initial sunshine proposals, and then we can work with the SIMBA negotiating team to begin and set dates for our first negotiating meeting.
Thank you. Superintendent, Assistant Superintendent Aiello. Now to open this item for public comment, Ms. Elizondo.
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you're joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board on this item.
Thank you. Seeing none come forward, I close public comment. Trustees, do you have any questions for staff? Seeing none, trustee, do I have a motion and a second to approve the adoption of 24-25 initial proposal by Madera Unified School District and Certificated Management Bargaining Association? State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
Trustee Dybert, I move to adopt the 2024-25 initial proposals by Madera Unified School District and the Certificated Management Bargaining Association.
Trustee Ahmad, second.
Been moved by trustee Dybert and seconded by trustee Ahmad to approve the adoption of the 2024-2025 initial proposal for the Madera Unified School District and the Certificated Management Bargaining Association. Mrs. Zondo, can you pull the board?
Trustee Ahmad,
Yes.
trustee Cortez,
Yes.
trustee Dybert,
Yes.
trustee Fleek,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
clerk Mendoza,
Yes.
and President Seibert.
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 7 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 0 absent.
Thank you, Ms. Elizondo. Item number 11, new business. Item number 11A1, fiscal services. Present and discuss the 2025-2026 annual service agreements. Superintendent Lyle.
President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, members of the board and public, we have CFO, the very honorable and excellent CFO Garcia here for this item.
Good evening, President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, trustees, Superintendent Lyle, thank you. As every year, we bring to the board for review and discussion the contracts that we're going to enter in the new fiscal year, 25-26. And so you receive a book and you also receive a summary page. And so I'm going to try to explain just the summary page. If you have a question on anything specific, I can answer it, and I have a whole team that can help me answer if I'm not able to. Okay, so I'm bringing to you 294 contracts in this bundle, and the total in expenditures is 45.7 million. We also have few contracts that bring us revenue that we're working with other agencies to provide services. So that is 1.4 million. From the 45.7 million in expenditures, 21.8 is unrestricted and 23.9 is restricted funds. And so from the current year, 24-25, we are not renewing 43 contracts. We, the superintendent, executive cabinet, all the way through cabinet, all the directors and coordinators did an amazing job to go through all the contracts that we currently have and identify the ones that we can live without next year. And so we were able to not renew 43, but of course we have some new ones that we need to bring in because either we found something that is cheaper, so we replace one with another. So we are adding 32 new contracts. From the 32 new contracts, 11 are funded unrestricted and 21 are funded restricted. So the net savings from the savings from what we're not renewing is about 1.4 million. So for the next board meeting, I'm gonna print a new book because this one has some changes already. And so that will be the final and what you will request approval from you. The list of the contracts that we're not renewing was included in the Friday news board newsletter. And it included only 40. And so since then, we have added another 3. But if you have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer.
You got a couple of days next week to go over this.
Yes.
Any questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll thank you. Okay, we're on item number 11B1, Human Resources Approved declaration of need for fully qualified educators for 2025-2026 school year. Superintendent Lyle.
So President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, and members of the board, we have Assistant Superintendent Aiello who tap danced his way up here for this item. That was impressive.
It's hard to follow CFO Garcia, so you got to make your move some way. President Seibert, Clerk Mendoza, Trustee Superintendent Lyle. Tonight, we are asking your approval of the Declaration of Need to the CTC, which grants us an opportunity to apply for emergency permits that will make sure that all of our teachers are highly qualified. This is a routine item we bring on a yearly basis to ensure for the upcoming school year for 25-26, we can ensure all teachers that are in our classroom have the proper certification and can provide the services our students need.
Okay, thank you, Assistant Superintendent Ayala. And now open this item for public comment. Ms. Lozando?
If you wish to address the board regarding this item, please step up to the podium and state your name and city of residence. If you are joining remotely and would like to make a public comment, click on the reactions icon located at the bottom of your screen. In the reactions window, click on the raise hand button and wait for your name to be called. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they approach the podium or appear on our screen. President Seibert, we do not have participants who wish to address the board on this item.
Thank you. Seeing none come forward, I close public comment. Trustee, do you have any questions for staff? Trustees, do I have a motion, a second, to approve the declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 2025-2026 school year? State your name when making the motion and when you second the motion.
President Seibert, I so move to approve the adoption of the Declaration of Need of Fully Qualified Educators for the 25-26 school year.
Trustee Cortez, I second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Trustee Salazar and seconded by Trustee Cortez to approve the declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 2025-2026 school year. Ms. Lozando, will you pull the board?
Trustee Ahmad?
Yes.
Trustee Cortez?
Yes.
Trustee Dybert?
Yes.
Trustee Fleek is absent for this vote. Trustee Salazar?
Yes.
Clerk Mendoza?
Yes.
And President Seibert?
Yes.
President Seibert, I counted 6 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and 1 absent.
Okay, thank you. Item number 12, announcements. Superintendent Lyle, do you have any announcements for the board?
I have a few, and they'll be fast. We have the Golden Apple Awards on 5/29 coming up, and that'll be at the municipal golf course. Is that not correct? I think it is, yes. We also have a District Safety Committee meeting coming up on Thursday at 5 p.m. We have a Budget and Finance Committee meeting that will be also on Thursday at 5:30. We have promotions coming up next week, and we have a list, I think, that's gone out to the trustees for them to select, for you all to select which ones you'd like to attend if you are able. Our graduations will be taking place at the Torres High School Stadium, and all of them begin at 7:30. We're trying to get this nice and streamlined, so we have some expectations that we all can count on. They didn't used to be that way, but Ms. Rodriguez has worked hard to try to get everything lined up. So on Tuesday, on June 3rd, we have the Adult Ed and Alt Ed graduation, begin at 7:30. On Wednesday, June 4th, we have the Coyote graduation. On Thursday, June 5th, we have the Toro graduation. And Friday, June 6th, we have the Stallion graduation. Again, all at Torres, all at 7:30. And the annual MUSD Classified Conference will take place on Monday, June 9th at Torres High School. If you can stop by, that'd be great. I think it's usually a really good time for most all of our staff, and it sure is a good day for them to feel valued. So if you're able to come, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Lyle. Item number 13, miscellaneous board advisory committee updates, 13A. As we move into advisory committee and board member updates, I invite trustees to share highlights from their committee meetings you've attended over the past couple of weeks. These updates should be shared in a summary form to help keep the full board and public informed about the work of advisory committees and the district initiatives. When sharing your update, please include the date and name of the committee meeting, main topics or issues discussed, important takeaways or action items, any next steps or upcoming meeting dates if applicable. Let's keep our updates concise and focus on informing the board and the broader group. Trustee Ahmad,
Nothing to report at this time, thank you.
Trustee Cortez,
Nothing to report, thank you.
Trustee Dybert,
Just a short report. I attended the DLAC meeting that was held last Monday. The committee was presented with the response from Superintendent Lyle to the recommendations made by the DLAC members on goals number 1, 2, and 4 for the LCAP 25-26. Staff reported that this will come to the board for approval at the one of the board meetings, I believe it's in June. Director Johnny Gonzalez did a presentation on Title III, and the parents were provided an activity on priorities of allocation distribution. There was an information regarding reclassification data for the 24-25 school year, and 530 students reclassified district-wide. 298 students received the seal of biliteracy, and I believe they mentioned some of those students that received the biliteracy was in Arab, Mandarin, Kurdic? I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Kurdic? What's the other language that they, I can't remember. What's the other language? There was one more language. So we were very pleased. I think it's the first year that they had those languages that they were awarded. They said 3, but I can't remember. No?
The student who achieved Spanish, but did it by virtue of being visually impaired.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, so it was very nice. This, once again, I'm very impressed by the parents. It almost feels like they already knew coming, but I think it's thanks to staff that trains them well at the beginning of each of the school year, and they know the roles, they know their participation, and they're not afraid of giving their feedback on everything that's presented. So, and that was the last, I believe that's the last meeting for the year. So thank you, that's all I have.
I'd like to start off by thanking the student board members. They were very valuable in sharing their student perspective to the board, and they took their job seriously. We just had the last PAC meeting for the year. The school site council meetings are finishing up. Taurus had their ELAC reclassification dinner for 32 students and their families. At the maintenance and operations parking lot, Classified had their employee lunch, and it was really good to see all our employees out there enjoying each other's company. The math curriculum Zoom was held earlier today, and there will be a lot more meetings held next year so we can figure out what math we're going to go with. Thank you.
Trustee Salazar.
I attended the Ahmed Scholarship Awards, and like Superintendent Lyle said, the Marachi group was very good for performance, and Mayor Cici Gallegos, her speech was good for the students and how to for their future and everything. So that was a very good presentation she did as well. And congratulations to the recipients of those scholarships. Ahmed always gives out. And I also attended on April the 19th, Madera Tech for the middle school junior graduate profile. The students in their different presentations was nice to see their vision come across in their presentation. Some of them were a little nervous, but it was a learning experience, so that was good. And I also attended on 5/19 the DLAC meeting, and along with what Trustee Dybert said, they also received their certificate to the parents, and I thank them for their time and their passion in representing the individual sites. And then on the 22nd, I attended the Firmus Scholarship and the Basio by Literacy, different awards and scholarships they received as well. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Salazar. Trustee Mendoza.
Yes, sir. I'll just mention one. I did attend the event, and it was excellent, especially the Marachis playing. It was outstanding. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, item 14, advanced planning. The regular board meeting is scheduled for June 10th. We don't have, is there any items board members want to see put on the agenda for future agenda items? Okay, no, okay. Item number 15, adjournment.
President Seibert, sorry. Actually, I do have a question, actually.
Okay.
So it's in regards to the district goal, and just if we can get an idea of when we can expect a report on, as we're approaching, actually, the
district
deadline's here
goals?
now. So, yeah, so the deadline was May
Or
of 2025.
That should be going forward fairly soon, I hope. I've asked staff to, because they're working in the field, get a recommendation from them, what the goals we should look at that we can accomplish, that they're focused on. And then from that, we can add to it or not as a board.
But aren't you saying what we've accomplished for the 2025?
Right, so the board,
Yeah,
the
report of
goal,
how their
right.
achievements.
Yeah, because
Well,
Well, specifically, the goal that we adopted in spring of 2022,
it was in May of 2022.
the deadline that was May of
Probably won't be
2025, which,
available till when?
Sorry, I need to speak so that the catch is in the microphone. We'll try to get that ready for you ASAP, and hopefully we'll be able to produce a wrap up to the district goal. I'm going to guess, and I'm looking at you, Horacio, not because you're the only person responsible for this, but I know that you're already thinking about it. I imagine we can have that done before we go away into summer break, before the end of June. Okay, we'll put it together in a presentation ASAP.
Thank you. Item number 15, adjournment. It is 8:09 and the meeting is adjourned.